I would say, our privilege to have Professor Singh with us for delivering a lecture on digital transformation from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0, for which we are heading. And starting this session with a brief introduction of ma'am. Professor Sugandha Singh is a professor and head artificial intelligence and machine learning in Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. She is a senior member of IEEE and many, I would say, societies related to computer science and electronics. She is having more than 53 research papers in his credit in various SCI, Scopus Index journals, and has been the author of 4 books also. She has guided 51 postgraduate students and PhD students also. She has 2 patents published, 1 granted and 2 filed for grant in her name. She serves as a reviewer for Springer's International Journal of Wireless Information Network, UGC journals, and IEEE recommended conferences. IESAC has designated her as a cybercrime intervention officer. She is a trained business analyst also and has a significant interest in management courses. She has pursued MBA, HR, and PR also. She is having more than 24 years of teaching experience, and her areas of interest are IoT, Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0, wireless sensor networks, managed and cognitive networks. So taking a leaf from taking the learning from ma'am will be good for us and our students also. So not taking much of the time between you and your teacher, your master, Professor Sugandha Singh, in today's master class. Now I hand over the baton to ma'am, and now she will be delivering as her wish.
Thanks a lot,
Over to
sir.
you,
That's
ma'am.
a pretty elaborative introduction. Thanks a lot for this. Do students have the capacity to unmute also?
Not ma'am. If they won't, they will raise the hand, and our persons will be unmute themselves, give them the rights also. And on the same, they will be doing through chat also.
So chat box would be fine.
Yeah, chat box will be there, and question answer sessions, they will be having question answer also. They can write it there, and there you can see it and respond it. And in the end, students, we will have the question answer session also. If anything is left, you please note it down. You write it in the question answer. We can have it in the end also. Right,
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So first thing I wish to come up with, thanks a lot to you and to LPU management for giving me this opportunity to interact with the bright students of this university, which is a pretty renowned university all over the India as of now, and international as well coming up. So first thing I wish to ask to the students, you can write in the chat box, why you realize that what is the requirement for the industry? Why do we wish to have the industries? We are studying about Industry 4.0 to 5.0. We'll start with 1.0 as well. But first thing is, why do we need the industries? Any one of students, you can write in the chat box. Okay, fine. I couldn't see any of the reply. But basically, I consider and I assume that you people are aware of, maybe a little lethargic to type about it. Industries basically are needed for the comfort of human being, right? It gives an impact on our comfort of life, number one. Number two, economy of the country wherein it is dealing with, because it produces the production for that country, as well as the production wherein it has the capability to export as well. You can see that our international norms for the export and import, these had been renewed recently, about 1-2 years back only, wherein we have increased our export capability also. Now, when we are in requirement of the industry, basically industry we started off with, I'll just start my presentation. Basically, we started off with the industry with the intention that it will give a comfort and it will deal with, can you see the screen, students? I'll come to the Can anyone authenticate, please, if you can see the screen? Yeah, thank you. Right. So basically, we come up to the industry with the intention that it will give the comfort. That is the first intention, that it will give the comfort to human being. Right. So when we started up with that intention, the production was there. There is no doubt. We were using the things as a human being. We were in a track of consuming the things for ourselves. But that was not mechanized till then. I'll start with the concept of 1.0 from where we started up and where we have reached to, and what is alarming for us as of now, right? So we started with 1.0 with the intention that somewhere with the manpower, if we can use a machine which is human operated only, not operated with anybody else, like a handle or something which is human operated, it will increase the production. And it has increased also. There is no doubt about it. It has increased also. So that was the era of Industry 1.0, wherein the machines which were powered by the steam or water or the human being are taken into the picture. It stayed for the span of about 100 years or so. 1700 was the time period for this Industry 1.0. With this comfort, we came to, thanks to electricity, then we shifted from our machines, from the steams or the water or the humankind, from them to the electricity. So that is, factories are transformed into the modern growth. The electricity came, hence you can easily make out that production went multifold when it went to the electricity concept, right? When it went to the electricity concept, that is the era of electrification. Then we came to Industry 3.0, wherein we were dealing with the PLCs, the first level computers, I must say, the programmable logical controller cards we were having, or the communication technologies we were having. Now, when we were having these cards, now you can imagine about if we are using a computer in addition to the electricity, which we have already. When we are using the computers, like a simple calculator, you can easily make out that how calculator reduces your work, how calculator gives you the comfort for giving a calculation at a faster pace. So Industry 3.0 was really a transition. That was a basic transition wherein we were shifting from the machines with the electricity to the machines which are a glimpse of automation was there. Nothing much, right? A glimpse of automation, I must say. Then we came to the era of Industry 4.0, wherein we were expressing and we were expecting that the machines which we are using, which are PLC based or which are connected machines, the machines are connected with each other so that they can communicate. Means that time in that era, we started with the communication, the machines talking to machines. Right? That is the era of digitization. Industry 4.0, wherein it is the era of digitization. Right? So the connectivity that basically, created a boom into the world, wherein the Industry 4.0 came up with the cyber physical systems. So CPPS, which is making the things intelligent through the intelligent decisions. We are still in the era of Industry 4.0, transforming to 5.0, keeping into the mind that the comfort for the land and the comfort for the mankind is at the stake as of now, right? So this Industry 4.0, though it became like a blessing to the world, blessing to the country, it was introduced basically in the Hanover Fest was there in 2010 or 11. At that time, it was introduced in Germany. So from there, it has picked up a pace and taken over all over the world to progress the initiative and ensure the coordinated the cross-sectional approach or interdisciplinary projects which you deal at the university level. At the company level, we name it as a cross-sectional approach. So this basically, many companies came into the association of it, which has established the Joint Industry 4.0 platform. So therein we came into the things like if we remember if we talk about our own time when we used to study, the internet was actually a blessing at that time if we get it, right? Because the systems were of the speed, which were the P4 systems or P3 systems, they were of the speed wherein you can switch on the system and go and have a cup of tea. After that, it can be switched on, right? So imagine the wastage of the time we were doing at that time. Also, that was the availability to us, which was finally saving our time for the increasing and automating the small programs. So we started up from there. And now we have reached, I must tell you that when I was studying at that time, there was just a glimpse of artificial intelligence. Then it took over, like neural network and all, they all came into the picture in the year of, I must say, 2010 or 9 or 10 in this country. Right. So when neural network came into the picture, the cyber physical systems actually taken up a boom at that time. So globally, many countries have introduced similar strategies, initiated with the example of, I must say, the industrial, initiated with the examples of industrial automation. The country like USA, it came up with the Industrial Internet Consortium. Italy, I must say, it named it as Industry 4.0. Sweden named it as production. In a production, they named it as a production. It was a production 2030 to 2030 that was given by Sweden. China also came up into the same picture. Japan has given a name. So we, all the countries came together to deal with the automation and bring into the connectivity a big boom. Now, all this, what else has happened? All this, what else I have talked about is what impact it has given to the economy, number one, right? Wherein you can see the boom of in the share market for Industry 4.0 when it came into the picture, how it varied, how the fluctuations happens, and how easy it has become for you to study about it. Basically, the share market basically tells you about the status of a country, any of a country, if you want to study about the where the economy is going for. So businesses basically started to embrace the Industry 4.0 along with now Industry 5.0. Now, if you realize what I talked about is I segregated it very nicely about Industry 1.0. Then I expelled you about Industry 2.0. Then I explained you about Industry 4.0, 3.0, 3.0. But the segregation of Industry 4.0 and 5.0 is not that easy, right? Because there is a technological shift from each type of industry, Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. There is a drastic technological shift. Now, wherein we have reached to Industry 4.0, there is not a drastic technological shift or the digital shift into 5.0. Only thing is the horses for Industry 4.0 need to be controlled. Right. Now, if I talk about this ChatGPT, right? Now, this ChatGPT, if I talk about this, then if I have to write one paper, right? Or any of document, if I want to articulate, that document, I'll think about it, I'll analyze about it, I'll see the repercussions about it. And then I'll go for the articulation before I make it public. Correct? Now, this point of view has given me one kind of analytical skills and the logical skills wherein I'm analyzing and logically implementing what do I have to articulate to make it public. Means if it is going public, what impact it is going to make it on the humankind. Right? Now, the same document you created through ChatGPT. Would ChatGPT think about it? No. Right? It will give you one document. Now, if you want to make it public, if you do not consider into the plagiarism impact also, let's say you remove the plagiarism or similarity index as well. Now, if you want to articulate it and make it public without realizing that what would be the impact on it. Now, your generation is still there, right? If you talk about, now think about it's not about a generation shift also, think about your juniors, 4-year juniors to you. Right, 4-year or 5-year juniors to you, wherein they are just starting off with the things and they have a facility in hand with like ChatGPT. I'm not saying that it is not a good thing. It is a very good thing if you implement it well, right? If you are ethical in implementing. But there is no transition of I must say the technology from Industry 4.0 to 5.0. Only thing is you need to be taking care it mindfully that what you are implementing, what would be the impact on humankind? And remember one thing always, that we are creating the systems. Now we have reached to the destination wherein system is making us scared of that whether we would be surviving or not. Right. So Industry 4.0 had been a blessing, no doubt. The connectivity and the digitization which has come up, it has given a boom to the organizations, to the business, to the economy. But it is very much important the way we are integrating the horizontal and vertical value chains, the way integration is going on, innovation with the digital business models, the way it is going on, it has to be controlled, keeping in mind human centricity, sustainability, and resilience. So, Industry 4.0 to 5.0, when I'm talking about, it is taking care of about same digitizations. These digitizations, how they are to be implemented, taking care about human centricity, sustainability, and resilience. If you are taking care about all these things, then Industry 4.0 and 5.0 are basically the merger of each other, right? You cannot, I must say, you cannot marginally, or I'm sorry, you cannot very clearly differentiate between both of them if you are taking care of all these things, right? So what is human centricity? First, we'll talk about it. What do you mean by human centricity is basically, now what you have seen in Industry 4.0, what else has happened? We have become, I'll give you a morning example of my personal example. Like there are a few things in the morning which my daughter helps me out, right? So in morning, I said her to my younger one that please bring me that. Every day she do that thing. Today she has to go for the school. Schools have started here now. So what she said, Mama, why don't you create a robot for yourself so that that can do a job for you? That's a simple statement she has given unknowingly. Right. Now, when unknowingly a child of this age, a small child is giving this statement, just understand the impact when she'll come to my age, how much dependency she would be having on the machines. Also, when the dependency on the machine comes up, you see your attitude towards when you are using the smartphones, right? In those smartphones, most of the times when your parents are calling, one or two times I assume that you people would be ignoring कि ठीक है ऐसे ही काम चल जाएगा अपने आप बुला लेंगे it is okay अपने आप कर लेंगे ठीक so that has aggravated your ignorant power. Now if we talk about ourselves, from agar if parents are calling us, we cannot afford to go on a second voice also. First voice is there, that means we have to say hanji and we approach them. So the power of ignorance is increasing as you are dealing towards the smartphones. Now understand the emotional impact when you are using just the robots, right? That emotional impact won't be there for a human to another human. That consideration of a talent won't be there for one human towards another human, right? So Industry 5.0 in human centricity, it basically promotes the talent, the diversity, and the empowerment. The machines used are same, but with the impact of considering the talent, diversity, and the empowerment. No wonders in coming time, there would be a job for the chief robotic officer. At present, we have the executive officer, the operations officer, the finance officers, but in future, there would be the jobs for the robotic officer as well, if we are mindful now. And no wonders, if we are not mindful now, human would be taught also by the robots, right? As of now, if you look into the jobs and all, people, only the academician is the one who is not scared of that their jobs are at the stake. But in future, it will happen if we do not implement Industry 5.0 at the time, right? So this is the shift in a perspective, basically. If a human centricity, if I talk about, it is basically a shift in a perspective for Industry 4.0, wherein Industry 4.0 focus upon the people serving organizations, because they deal with the productivity, they deal with the results, not considering about human values. You know, thanks to our labor laws in our country and the court activities and the laws, other laws in our country, wherein the limited manpowers are there for the working. Think about China. If the same things are implemented here, is it possible? Not possible, right? So that is the people serving organization is the perspective for Industry 4.0. The perspective for Industry 5.0 is organizations serving people. So human centricity is taken care upon. It doesn't mean that organizations are going to, serve you few things. But yes, humankind, wherein the person who is having a talent, the diverse person, and the person who is dealing with the empowerment of human value, or you can say the empowerment for the team building, that people, those kind of the people would always be preferred, right? So this is the first tactic which you need to learn in coming up into the market, because you would be, in 1 or 2 years, I'll assume, or few in this year only, you would be coming to the industry. Now, second part is when we deal with the sustainability. Sustainability is what? It is basically taking care about our own planet. Jaise there was a time, now also it is there, wherein we talk about that be mindful when you are taking a printout. At the ATM, they give you a message that do you really want a slip for whatever you have withdrawn or whatever the transaction you have done. So when we are getting mindful for the trees means the greenery, right? Buildings have come up to that extent. You are in that area wherein there is so much land for the जहां पर आप काफी ज्यादा खेती बाड़ी करते हैं, तो वहां पर if land is always bought by the government, the boundaries are when bought by the government, wherein buildings are come up, but you cannot compromise on the crop also. Hence the concept of vertical farming came into the picture. That is, vertical farming is a blessing from Industry 4.0, wherein the sensors and actuators have given us a blessing to go ahead with the vertical farming, wherein on a limited land we can produce more crop. Right. But sustainability in any case has to be taken care of, wherein the greenery and the planet boundaries are taken care of. We shall be very mindful about that what we are working upon, what is the impact of this on our own earth. That is Industry 5.0. Now, when we talk about the resilience strategy, this is basically, resilience means, basically in English, if I talk about, then resilience means what? Anything which you have lost, you gain it later again. So that means the flexibility, the not on the traditional meaning. If I go on the resilience, that means the agility is there, the flexibility is there, wherein to adopt the different technologies. Now, today, if I talk about that, I will not study about artificial intelligence. That's not my cup of tea. I'll just confine myself to only networks. Would it suffice the purpose? It will not, because to whom I have to prepare upon, they are going to the world wherein artificially intelligent people are to be artificially intelligent machines are to be programmed, are to be established, developed by the humankind, right? So the primary focus for resilience will be on the growth, profit, efficiency, but creating the organizations that are fragile, that are adaptable, that are agile, right? So which is fragility, which is not taking care, which has not been taken care upon. So anti-fragility is taken care by the Industry 5.0. That means they are able to anticipate, react, and learn timely, right? Learn, forget, relearn, right? These are the three mool mantras for the any of I must not say this is not the mool mantra for Industry 5.0. It is about any of person who is dealing and who is competitive and who I must say wants the existence, respectable existence into the world. That person need to depend upon these three things. So this is about the flow of industries, wherein Industry 1.0 is started upon, and today we are in a transition, or you can say the amalgamation of Industry 4.0 and 5.0. So the digital technologies which we are using to Industry 4.0 are taken care with the human centricity, sustainability, and the resilience by Industry 5.0. Right? So this is what the flow I talked about is, that Industry 1.0, and at the 18th century, the pictorial view which I have shown you is, it introduced the mechanical production machines powered by the water and steam. 2.0, it is introducing the mass production lines powered by the electric energy. So in the production increase, if I talk about, then production increase has happened drastically from 1.0 to 2.0. 3.0 started with a little glimpse of the automation through the use of electronics and the IT, further progression into autonomous production. Right? Autonomous production means the glimpse of the autonomous, which you give automatic machines which come into Industry 4.0. I'm sorry. Industrial Revolution 4.0 is based on the cyber physical systems, and today we are dealing with this Industry 5.0. Now, level of the complexity, you can see it is increasing day by day. Industry by industry. Through era by era, it is increasing, and now we are dealing with more complex system, but as a result, giving us the more simple results. This is, okay, the transition which I have talked about just now. Now the phases are 1760 to 1840 that ushered the mechanical production, railways and the steam engines. 1870 to 1940, the mass production, electricity and assembly line. These three things you need to remember it all the time, because there is no doubt about it, kids, that we will not take a reverse gear without any fail. The things which we have now, which has given us the comfort and which has given, or you can say, which has increased our well-being, right? That thing cannot come in the reverse gear now. But now we would be taking care upon not to compromise on these three, wherein our mass production, electricity usage, electric vehicles are coming up. Remember this, electricity usage and the assembly lines shall run at the same pace, right? Which we are now running. The computers, semiconductors, mainframes, computings, personal devices, and internet, they shall be produced in the own country to take care about the economy, right? As of now, we are importing these things. So they shall be produced in our own country so that the economy with this Industry 4.0 to 5.0 shall be taken care upon. And this 4.0, what it deals with is a collective term for the technologies and concepts of value chain organization, which I said you, that value chain organization is the main thing which came up now. Now we are dealing with 4.0 as a robots, right? In 5.0, we are using with the collaborative robots, which we named it as a cobots, right? So the same robot wherein we are taking care about the sustainability, the human centricity, and the resilience, then the value chain organizations are taken care about the cobots, in the cobots, right? Based on the technological concept of the physical, cyber physical system, the Internet of Things, and the Internet of Services, wherein we use as a platform as service, cloud as service, the same kinds of the Internet of Services, it facilitates the vision of the smart factory. Now, 4.0 has given us what? The smart cities. Yes, when we talk about this 4.0, automation and everything, what we talk about? We talk about the smart cities. Smart cities deal with what? Smart economy, smart manufacturing, smart production, smart implementation. Now, this smart word means what? What do you mean by the word smart? I need the reply in chat box, please, kids, now. What do you mean by the term smart? Technically efficient, aware of context. Okay. Technically advanced. Okay. Technically advanced means what? Through instructions or automatically. Consumption of less time. This I'll focus upon minimal effort and optimal output, right? Sanjay Gautam, right? It is basically giving you what? Rest of the students, rest of the people have also given a quite approachable reply. But when I talk about this, I'm pretty impressed with. Sanjay, where's your reply? It's gone up. Minimal effort and optimal output. Generally, what we do, minimal effort and optimal output I'll talk about, because optimality is the main thing wherein we would be focusing now for Industry 5.0. जहां पर आप you can say the productions which are basically industry 4.0. It deals with what we mean about smart factories when we are dealing, the smart cities when we are dealing with. Smart means something which you can do. Okay, fine, I'll put one quote here, maybe a little vague. Generally it is said कि घोड़े की तरह काम करो, गधे की तरह मत करो. Means what? The efforts which you are putting up to achieve the result, that shall have a smart way, wherein minimum efforts shall give you the maximum results. Right? So minimum effort gives you the right way, and or you can say the expected results which you are talking about, or the optimal results which you are talking about. So basically smart word deals with the input and output which you are putting up. It shall vary, right? A little input gives you the maximum output. That is what we deal with the word smart factory. Work smartly, not hardly. Yeah. Right? This is a general saying which we put up in front of our kids or the students also, that smart kaam karo, hard kaam karo. Because hard work with no direction doesn't give you the results, right? So the smart factories and smart cities also deal with the same things. Now, Industry 4.0, in a crux, if I talk about kids, then in a crux, they are dealing with that maximum manufacturing and the production shall happen into that same country, so that whatever the population of that country is, number one, within the country, whatever the population is, they are able to provide the services. That production, what happened, they are able to provide the products to that population. This is number one. So that means that speed up shall be that much. If you see that maximum changes in the car designing, if I talk about, that is done by Hyundai. Every 6 months, they change the design. Means the technology and the designing part of them is changing that fast, that if they do not train their people to be implemented within that 6 months, it won't be having any value after that 6 months. The phones, designs, and the capabilities which are changing so fastly. So the production shall be that smart, wherein the less effort has to be applied to give more production, and the more manufacturing has happened, so that it can fulfill the requirements of the population of that country. This is the first point. Second point is, now country works on what? Forget about country. You yourself work on what? If you do not have money in hand, what will you do? You won't be able to survive. You won't, for how long you would be able to survive with the minimum facilities? You won't be able to, right? So the economy, for uplifting that own population, that is also important. From where that economy shall come? From outside or within inside, whatever they are selling off, the money they are taking. But that will be maintaining a balance. That will not, अगर आप मुझे कुछ पैसा दे रहे हैं, उतने पैसे पे, let's say if I am doing some work, you are fulfilling the requirements, that basic work will maintain just the balance. कि आपकी पिछले ईयर फैक्ट्री में जो प्रोडक्शन था, the same production will be now also. But now, if I want to uplift, if the company wants to pay me more, the company needs more money. From where that money will come? Outside the company, wherein they can produce the services. Same is implemented on the country as well. The production which they are doing now, in a smart way, to fulfill the requirements of their own population, shall be able to produce more economy out of their country also. So our plants, our machines, our factories shall be smart enough to produce that smart economy, which is from the products which is going on. Working smart means finding the ways to use the energy and time, right? Perfect, right? So whatever you are producing, with what effort, because if you are going for a production of something, their effort also matters, because you have to spend money for that effort as well, right? So that effort, less time, more production, right? So that you can create the economy, you can uplift the people there, and you can uplift the factory survivals as well. Now, if I talk about the generations, kids, like if you see your generation, grandparents generation, आपके दादा दादी, वो जब जॉब करते होंगे या अपना बिजनेस रन करते होंगे, I'll talk about the employee category as of now. Now, let's say if they were working at that time, you might have heard any time they might be quoting to your parents, like our generation, कि तुम लोग बहुत जल्दी जल्दी जॉब शिफ्ट कर लेते हो, कोई स्टेबिलिटी नहीं है, हमने पूरा जिंदगी एक ही नौकरी में निकाल दिया. So they were the people wherein the transition started. Industrializations was taking a boom. They picked up a job. They started working in the same factory or same company, and they retired from there. Mostly, I'm not saying everybody. Mostly. Now, when it came to us, the companies are not expecting that more loyalty from us. It's not like that loyalty was too high in the previous generation. No, loyalty was not too high in the previous generation. Availability of the avenues were very less in the previous generation. Those avenues increased in our generation. So now the basic things which had been taken care by them, which we talk about roti kapda makan, we uplifted ourselves because avenues increased, right? They increased smartly, avenues increased, our capability of working more increased, the paying capacity increased, hence the level of standard of living increased in our generation. Now the same standard is given to you people. Now you have more avenues, hence the loyalty decreased the way it has decreased in us. It has decreased more in you towards the company. You simply say, company meri loyalty ka dhyan nahi rakhti, why should I bother about the company? It's okay, I'm getting more things. Now, and also, companies can threaten us a little bit that if you won't work, we'll chuck you out of the job. But when you people will come into the picture, you will hardly bother about it because your avenues are more. You can think about, acha theek hai, naukri nahi milegi, I'll start up my own thing anytime. Because government has reduced that entrepreneurship policies and all. It has loosened them up so that it has become now easy. So see how smartly the things have changed from generation to generation. Now we are into that smart factory wherein the things are available, avenues are available, less effort is required, more output is required. The person who is bothered about, who can take care about, who is having a talent, right? Who is taking care about that team management can be done, or the management skills are pretty high, that person will always be uplifted into the smart factory category, right? So what you people, generally I have seen, we can't earn without efforts, investment, and the smart work. No doubt, I agree with that, right? So whatever the vision of a smart factory is, that is implemented, basically started with our generation, but main implementation has to be done by your generation. Hence, the term has come up with wherein the human centricity, sustainability, and resilience has to be taken care of. That is the reason why universities have also come up with new subject, which we name it as the ethical intelligence, right? The intelligence, I said that we cannot take a reverse gear. The intelligence is there, but how ethically you can implement it. The person, Elon Musk, who has created the smart vehicles, now threatening the world about the artificial intelligence existence, right? So if you do not bother about how things are going on, then you won't be able to perceive, analyze, and implement. So that is more important. So within the modular structure, smart factories of Industry 4.0, cyber physical systems monitors the physical processes. What is the cyber physical system basically? I'll come on that cyber physical system directly now. I'll come on this slide later. What is this cyber physical system basically? This cyber physical system it deals with three things: computation, communication, and control. The computation, communication, and the control, when we talk about that, computation and communication are embedded and controlling the physical system. That embedded work of a communication and the computation, which is within the system, right? That is controlling the physical entities. Hence, the robotics has come into the picture, right? So this robotics, basically, what happens into it, and how this CPS has come into the picture, how it has become so vibrant. Reason behind, nowadays, if you talk about that availability of internet, the miniaturization of it, the speed, the power, and the mobility facility which we talk about, right? This has all led to the pervasive use of the internet, pervasive use of the networks, the technologies which we are using. So it has increased, hence our economic sectors also increased. Now, these, when they are combined together with the elements, which you name it as the efficiency, effectiveness, productivity, safety, speed, which basically enables all the possible solutions for us, the solutions to the problems which are existing in our daily life. So this has basically led to the requirement that something which we can commute, which we can program, which means the communication, which we can program. Hence, that programmed computation can control the physical thing. So all the CPS have the computation process that basically interacts. So cyber physical system is a system of collaborating computational elements controlling the physical entities, right? So CPS are physical and engineered system whose operations are monitored, coordinated, controlled, and integrated by the computing and communication code. Mainly, basically, if I'll take a simple example of C language, simple example, any of a language, making a short program. What you are doing? By programming, you are communicating. By algorithmic calculations, you are computing. With that computation and communication, you are getting some results on the screen. Right? Now that when we are getting on the screen, if we come at a bigger level now, then it comes at a simulator. That when with this computation and the communication, you get it on the screen or in a virtual world, which you name it as the augmented reality and the virtual reality. In the virtual world, which is making the things possible existing physically, the realization, that we name it as the simulators, right? So now when it is done with the simulator, it is programmed that way. Now, when it is controlling the physical system, which we name it as the robots, any kind of a short robot or a bigger robot, which we name it as the robots, we name it as the CPS in a standard word, because it is controlling the physical machine or a physical system, right? They allow you to add capabilities to the physical systems by merging computing and communication with the physical processes. So all the CPS which we talk about, all the CPS have the computation processes that interact with the physical components. These are basically by computing with them, what they do, the level of a complexity for increasing it for overall crucial role in, and I'll just read the chat, kids. Overall, cyber physical systems play a crucial role in enabling the development of advanced technologies and applications that bridge a gap between physical and digital worlds. This is I'll say this is a pretty bookish language which you have written here. Understand the meaning of each and every word, which is leading to more intelligent and interconnected system. Intelligent system means what? That it has a capability to analyze, perceive, analyze, and then project. This is what the intelligent system is. What is interconnected system? That machine-to-machine communication is happening. Right? Now we have the things wherein a machine-to-human communication is also happening. Whatever, like a tennis racket, it has come up with that sensor and the actuator, wherein it creates an alarm also that you have given so many hits, and there are these many hits had gone out of the boundary, and these many hits are within the code. So these are what the languages wherein we are using the sensors, actuators, means the physical components for the computation, wherein we use the language to communicate to that embedded systems, and then we transfer it to the physical device for the action, right? So that is about what is written in the chat, right? So these robots, when we talk about the intelligent buildings, we talk about implementable medical devices, when we talk about the cars, we talk about, these all are the examples of the cyber physical systems. Now, basically, if I talk about, then this CPS has taken a boom, major boom or you can say the understanding. If I talk about this, not a major boom, I must say, implementation was before also, but it's kind of a thing. COVID has shown the face, the utilization of these things. In front of a COVID sufferer person, it would be better to send a robot than to a human being. So it has shown the utilization of a common man. I'll give you a simple example of yoga, which is basically, I must say, origin of our own country, was thought of earlier that it is a game of or it is a thinking, or it is a doing of rich people only. But after this, Ramdev came into the picture. Every common man, हर एक park में आपको लोग फूफा फूफा करते नजर आ जाते, right? So this is how so here COVID has played the same role, wherein the common man has understood the requirement of the machines and the requirement of artificially intelligently promoted and programmed machines, which can be used for humankind. And basically, it would be more useful if you understand. This is just my suggestion as per the understanding of the market. You implement it or not is on your thinking. If you understand the implementation of artificial intelligence, when I mention artificial intelligence, I mention it till deep learning, right? When you understand the implementation of artificial intelligence sector into the medical science, if you can bring this up and you can have the understanding of it. Look, I generally promote to the students to always have the interdisciplinary groups. The reason behind it is a computer science or the AI student or IoT-based student, if merged with the mechanical student, it can come up with the excellent designing part, excellently programmed. And if you understand the requirement of a medical science, then just understand that these three combinations, where it can lead the country towards and where it can lead your career itself, right? So it is important to understand the cyber physical system, how it can be designed, group it up if you are not able to understand, and how it can be implemented with the requirements which are useful for a humankind. Humankind ka use karne ke liye best thing is that you go for the medical sciences. Just have an understanding of it, or merge yourself with any of a doctor, right? That person would be able to tell you the requirement. Radiologist or the pathologist, they would be able to understand and it would be able to tell you what is the requirement of the medical industry as of now, what is required from you to be programmed and designed. So if this three merging can happen, then you will become a boom for the country, right? So there are the principles, basic principles for coming up to that merge when we talk about. Then the basic principles for Industry 4.0 has been the interoperability, virtualization. What do you mean by virtualization? But interoperability, I assume that you are aware of it, that wherein, which I gave an example of, wherein you are making multiple things controlled centrally. The smart homes, when we talk about, controlled centrally by the mankind, right? So when the ability of a cyber physical system, human and the smart factories are connected to communicate with each other via the Internet of Things, right? Basically, the Industry 4.0 ka backbone or automation ka backbone is Internet of Things. That is the reason there is a term Internet of Things, then there is a term Industrial Internet of Things, which is implemented at the level of education. What you are understanding is how to implement it at the smaller level. Maybe automatic buses you are creating. Automatic buses, when I mean, wherein they are tracking a route, not driven by itself, right? Wherein the automatic homes are there. But when it comes to the industrial level, then we deal with the, let's say in aggregation, if I talk about, then vertical farming may, how you can, what kind of a moisture is there, what kind of what is the health of that soil is there, wherein the crop can be developed. So these all things are taken care by Internet of Things. And to Internet of Services, wherein the results is looked into what Internet of Things have provided to us. Now, virtualization is, so for you, one thing is, what you need to understand is, if you really want to enter into the competitive world, that it is important to understand Internet of Things, the working of sensors and actuators. That plays a very, very vital role in your, I'm not saying to make your career in that, I'm just saying, if you're not interested, if you make it very well, if you're not interested, don't make a career in that. But the understanding about sensors and actuators and its protocols, that is very, very important belonging to this field, right? So virtualization is basically the augmented reality, and the virtual reality comes into the picture, wherein a virtual copy of a smart factory, which is created by linking sensor data with the virtual plant models and simulation models. The simulators, I think you have worked upon in the networking, you would have worked upon NS2, NS3, the simulators wherein you develop the environment of the different nodes, different machines, which are connected to each other and passing on the data, at what speed they are passing on, what is the bandwidth required for it. If congestion happens, what is the path they have to follow? Means you do not have to actually implement the routers on the road to understand that how this protocol will behave. So simulators have come up, which is an example. This is basically the example for this virtual reality, which is giving you the, I must say, which is giving you the glimpse about, or giving you the actual figures, possible actual figures, near about actual figures, that this would be the categories which you would be facing if you implement the routers of this capacity at different distance, right? So this is what the virtualization has come into. Now, in coming future, let's say if I talk about that this cyber physical system, which is more transformative, which has brought more of the IT revolutions into past few years, I must say 3 to 4 years basically, 3 to 4 decades basically. So this, no wonders, for example, you want to go for designing of a house, right? For construction of a house, we are in a capacity to launch the robots, correct? We can program them, we can launch them. We do not need human being there. Now for designing, again, there is a virtual machine which can ask your requirements, right? You input those requirements, give those requirements, and it can give you the pictures about and the budget about that, what would be the budget with the painting and with the flooring type, everything it will show you. And it will tell you about, instead of doing the engineering in that, it is that much simple that normal human being can do it. So we do not require the design engineers as well then, right? So before implementing or launching a business, in some time you would be able to make out by the simulators that if we go for this much of a production, what would be the results, and what is the economic growth of that city, what is the paying capacity of that city, what would be the benefit I can get, and what is the requirement from people at that time. So for running that business, how many things you require? Only how many people you require? Just 3 people hardly, to take the survey, to take the inputs, and to design, right? So these 2-3 things, if you design by yourself, then in totality, including you would be needing 3 people. So virtualization is leading towards the comfort, the speed, and the economic growth, which has led to the, you can say, the speed up of a work, which has led to the more production, right? Decentralization is there, the ability of a cyber physical system with smart factories to make decisions on their own. So means the way I'm working here, right? You are also studying into the university, and your people, your faculty members who are to, let's say, implement something into their own department. They need a permission from principal, then to dean or to director or whatsoever the hierarchy is. Now, when they are given the budget, let's say the budget is given, that this is the annual budget. In this budget, you are to run the department. Now they are self-dependent, not to be dependent upon for the decision on anything else. So decentralization has given us, when it is self-dependence, the work of a department will be speeded up. It will go at a little higher pace, right? So at that higher pace, if things are there, that means the results would be more. I'm talking about all the good intentions, not considering anything else. So decentralization always speeds up because decision-making is faster. Basharte, perceiving and the analysis is in a good intention, right? Fourth part is the real-time capabilities. The capability to collect and analyze data and provide the insights immediately. Whatever the data you are capturing, right? Whatever the capabilities your team has, right? that can be implemented using virtualization, seeing into the results and implemented into the real world, right? Service orientation, offering of the services via the internet of service, whatever the services you have thought of, they are implemented that way. Modularity, the flexible adaptation of smart factories for changing requirement of individual modules. Whatever, when I'm talking about a decentralization, that doesn't mean that single department will work altogether different from the university. No, there are certain central protocols, there are central policies which they are to implement. Those policies are, I must say, designed and framed thinking about taking into the consideration the modularity of the individual department. So hence all the departments finally confine themselves to those policies only, right? I'll just go through the chat once, then I'll go to the next slide. Okay, this is the definition, what you are giving. Any doubts, Soumya, for this? Or you just wanted to convey? Okay, thank you. Right? So these are the building blocks for Industry 4.0, wherein the autonomous robots, simulations, and horizontal and vertical systems, industrial Internet of Things, which I talked about just now, cybersecurity, additive manufacturing, augmented reality, big data analytics. Now, in all these things I had explained, I wish to focus a little more on the big data analytics. Now, you might have seen a lot of difference in the job prospective kids now, or you may take an analysis from your placement department, wherein the requirement earlier for the, I'll just take an example of computer science as of now. The requirement earlier for the computer science candidate was what? Mainly into the sectors which are dealing with computer science fields, or the fields which are dealing with the outside the country, which are, you know, programming for those factories, right? Nowadays, if you see, management fields, they are hiring computer science students. Then banking sector, they are hiring. Production sector, they are hiring. Manufacturing sector, they are hiring. Reason behind, they all have to deal now with the data analysis. Right? Now, if you are well acquainted with what data is, how it has to be analyzed, how it has to be finally concluded, and the further action proposed. Let's say you have some data. For example, I'll take a very minuscule example of one classroom, right? In that class, how many students are there? What is the category of a grouping of a student I must talk about? In that grouping, what is the percentage of the candidates? How many candidates are at a verge of failure? How many are assumed that they may fail? What is the action proposed? On that action, what are the implications? If I do this type of a study for any of a class, I can take a prerogative, or I must say, I can take a prior action. On that action and implementation, I can reduce the number or minimize the loss. I'm not saying that loss will not happen. Loss will happen. But what we have to deal with is, so that we can minimize the loss to the maximum extent. Hence, most of the companies are focusing upon, which are not just computer science based. Most of the companies are focusing upon data analysis and the data security. Right? So you can have a word with your placement cell there. They'll also talk about the same things, that no doubt that basic programming is there, but wherein the higher end things are required, you need to be very much well acquainted with these two things, the security part and the data analysis part, right? So we are basically, the implications which are possible in this field are the robotic assisted production, right? Predictive maintenance, additive manufacturing, which I talked about, machine as a service or internet as a service, big data. The same way is reframed in the way so that you can understand how it is captured and understood at the industry perspective, right? Simulators, if you can create that, right? Supply network, if you deal about that. Amazon, if you know about, you would have seen that Dubai RTA has launched one vehicle which can, on a travel with a laser light, it can detect even 1 mm of a path hole also, which can be rectified then and there, right? So the small things, by utilization of electronics and utilization of the, I must say, the technology, it is increasing the results, increasing the supply. The Amazon, which has come up with most of Amazon warehouse, which is mostly dealt by this nowadays with the robotics only, right? So all the things, if you see, these all are in all this discussion when I talked about the examples which I am quoting now, all these discussions when I talked about, every time what I talked about is artificial intelligence. I'm not saying that anything else is not taken care about. Artificial intelligence can work only on data. There is no doubt. Secure data, number 2, right? Connected data, number 3, right? But finally, in the picture is coming up is artificially intelligent machine or the instrument, right? So the few examples which I am talking about, that the bulbs which are controlled by phone, the Meditronics implemented that blood glucose meter, which is wirelessly connected and monitor the health. The t-shirts which can make out. Now on LinkedIn, I was going through that. I'm in the group of that artificial intelligence group in LinkedIn. They have created, I forgot the name of a country there. The wall is there wherein it can measure, wall is showing you, instead of a phone or a smartwatch, wall is showing a pictorial view of you walking and on which speed you are walking. What you can say the BMI factor you are having. On that BMI factor, what shall be your speed to walk, right? So try to understand what things are taken care about, how intelligently they are focusing upon what is the performance of what you are doing. We created the machines to help us out and increase our performance. Now machines are judging our performance and showing us what we shall do. Till that point, still it is okay. But now we have come to that whistleblower stage wherein we shall be mindful what we are doing. Now we have those t-shirts and the rackets which are sensor based, which can judge what is the speed of a ball, what spin you have taken upon. So now with all this industry 4.0, what is the impact on the different sectors? We'll talk about that. On the different sectors, first individually, what is the impact? Individually, it has, before coming to this, I'll go again with the chat. Chat GPT is more advanced AI model, no doubt. If you are mindful, this is very nice. But it is not the data security, it's more on the cyber security. Shantanu, can you explain me what is the difference between the data security and the cyber security? The two terms are there, I agree, but go in the depth and the baseline of it. You are differentiating. Cyber security is doing what? Is it securing the lines or is it securing the network? Basically, it is securing your data only, right? So cybersecurity, in a layman language, if I talk about kids, then cybersecurity is basically the connected secure data which is secured. Basically, it is data security only, right? On the machines, on the connected machines, when we are more on securing data, that is analysis of data, while cybersecurity, I believe, is more on securing user side. The connected things up. No. It's not like this. What he's talking about, Shantanu, is a little bit correct, not absolutely wrong. Securing data, look, at the data security, we have, if in a layman, if you talk about, or on a basic thing, if we talk about, then data security has nothing to deal with data analysis. Security means what? If I have some personal thing with myself, right? It is 100% secure till the time it is with me. The moment I'll share with you, let's say Shantanu, if I'll share with you, you are my best friend and I'll say you not to share with anybody else. Security number one, it has come to some percentage on a stake. Now Shantanu, after some time, has to have a friendship with Jitendra. Right? And Jitendra doesn't have a liking for me as well. And Shantanu shares those things with Jitendra. So data security, when it comes to connectivity, right? at that time, it is more on a stake. The percentage decreases for the security if it is more secure, if it is more connected and more transferred to different machines. This is as simple as that, right? Any doubts for this? I just used a very simple language for saying what you are talking about, IT assets and all. For what purpose we are using IT assets? For transfer of information. So till the time they are secure, till the time Shantanu is secure for me, my data is not secure. So I have to, make the instrument secure itself, right? So basically, kids, you are losing somewhere what I have understood from all your definitions now. You have studied, no doubt, but you have lost the concept of, what the baseline is. Fine, I'll ask you a simple example now. What is the definition of pi? Fine, Jitendra, we will have a discussion on this. I would be happy to be lightened by you to me on this. But what I talked about is not the difference for both of them. The baseline for cybersecurity, you are not understanding what I'm saying. Baseline for cybersecurity to come into the picture is just because the connectivity came into the picture, right? If connectivity is not there, then cybersecurity doesn't have to play any role with the data. Correct? What you are talking about, the differentiation, what I could perceive is that you are talking about the different kinds of the protocols. You have entered more into the technicality. I'm talking about the basic understanding of what data security and cybersecurity is. First, understand the basic implementation, basic utilization. You would be able to differentiate the protocols well if you know the baseline. The simple thing I asked about is, give me the definition of pi. Everybody has studied mathematics. What is pi? So I won't explain you right now, but I'm just saying that try to understand the baseline, kids. When you will remember what the base is, what the root is, then you would be able to understand what the different protocols, what the different policies we are to implement at the different levels, right? I'm not denying what you are saying is wrong. It is absolutely correct. But for what purpose it is? I'm talking about a purpose, right? That's not the definition, boy. Sorry, Soumya. That's not the definition. Fundamental constant. That's not the definition. That's not the root. I'm talking about a definition. What is pi? Why it was implemented? Why it was generated? Why it was declared? What is pi? So I'll tell you this example in the end. Yeah, this is Shantanu has come up. Yeah, absolutely correct. That is what the definition is. So understand the basic root, what the basic definition is, then you would be able to implement the things at the right thing at the right place. Did you get it? Right? Thank you, Shantanu. Right? So now we'll come on the things where, sorry, what is the basic benefit of it is coming out to be. Here, when we talk about the individual impact, what is the individual impact? The comfort, speed up, proximity increased, right? So Industry 4.0 has given the utilization of the resources that has increased. What is the impact on the society? Obviously, the economy increased, level of standards increased. But yes, there is another aspect as well, which I'll talk in a while about it. The economy, which has increased. Business, which has increased the economy. Avenues increased for the people. The types of the business increased for the people, right? National and the global impact, wherein our, what as a country we are doing. Now, there are, okay. Now there are national and the global things wherein we deal with what country is dealing with, any of a country, and what that country is providing at the global level. So Industry 4.0 has increased our production and the manufacturing, and hence we have increased our economy to the more extent, wherein the impact because of the automation, we are able to increase or speed up the things well, right? So that is what the impact of Industry 4.0 is. Now in AI, I'll come on the things wherein I'll close about Industry 4.0, the understanding of what the digital technologies are needed for Industry 4.0. I'll close it up as of there now. Now AI itself, now you understood that in all totality, when we talk about Industry 4.0, the bigger picture, which is AI with the connectivity, with the data, with the security, right? We are dealing with all these things to implement the results which are artificially intelligent to provide the services to human being, right? So what are the advantages and disadvantages of it? Before this, I'll come to one basic quote about artificial intelligence, wherein every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can in principle be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it. An attempt will be made to find how to make machines use language, form abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of the problems now reserved for human, and improve themselves. AI, this is what the basic intention has come for artificial intelligence in 1950, right? So we started up with confining ourselves with, with the utilization of the artificial intelligent machines so that they can provide the services to human being. But what basically AI means is, I talked about IoT, I talked about cybersecurity, I talked about analysis. Basically, it is the accumulation of information. Artificially intelligent, when we are quoting, means it is working on some data, accumulation of information, analyzing it, and then projecting it. This is what we are doing. And when we deal with the data kits, again, I'll come up with that it deals with all the data securities, the cyber security, any kind of a security which is involved with that data, right? It is, projection has to be, again, how the human being wants as of now, right? So it will not be more considered. I tell you, it won't be a valuable thing in the human faculty, because simple gadgets are going to do multiple things and in a much better way than a human being can do. Correct? So what I said about it is that there is a whistleblower for it. We started with comfort of, we started with comfort of human being and speed up of things for the production so that the standard of living for human being can increase. And hence, in that perspective, the family, the city, and the country, the standard of living for everything shall increase, right? Now, machines have become more intelligent. And now, if you are into that news and all, you can see that how people are now threatened about their own jobs. It has two faces. I'll quote about it. It has two faces. Now, in those faces, one factor has come, look, as of now, main threat is for the shop floor people, right? But it will give a good impact to the country, that it will emphasize more on people to read better. अच्छा पढ़ाई करो, अच्छी पढ़ाई करके तुम अच्छी position पे आओ. अच्छी position in the sense you are able to analyze and project, so that you do not have to work on the shop floor, wherein the work of a robot, wherein your work has been replaced by robot, which is a stipulated set of things which you are to implement. In that stipulated set of things, no human being is required, right? Wo set of things, if I'll program, it will come. So hence, whatever we are doing, right? Whatever we are dealing with, we need to become more intellectual. What do you mean by the word intellectual? What does it mean? That you intellect, which can function on the accumulated data. Am I correct? You intellect or you interact with people or with the machines, which can function on the accumulated data. You have something, some information, or what if I use the layman language, then people generally say experience speaks. What do you mean by the word experience? The accumulated data only, right? On that accumulated data, you know that this would be the implications, this could be, this shall not be done, and these would be the benefits of it, right? So this is how intellectual deals with. So data assimilation, analysis, and the execution. That is very, very important on the data accumulation. Hence, the jobs which you are talking about in the data analysis area that comes upon the analysis part and the execution part, right? Now, if you just analyze the data, let's say, right? I'll take an example of share market. You'll just analyze it up. For previous years, you have analyzed that shares of so-and-so company have gone to this level. This is the fluctuation. This was the market state at that time. And you just put it on the paper. This is the analysis. And you do not conclude. Does that analysis have any value? No. Assimilation with conclusion of execution. That is very important. So whenever you are entering into the jobs with respect to the data analysis, the assimilation with the conclusion of execution, that plays a very, very vital role wherein you are to take care about that what implications are the suggestions. Generally, I say to my kids also and my students also, whenever you come to me with any of a thing or any of a problem, come to me with few solutions. What you think about shall be the possible solutions. What do you think? I cannot find out that? I can. I can propose it very easily to them. I can say them ki aisa kar lo. But if they come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, they will understand what would be the implications. Hence, it will increase their analysis capabilities, right? What shall be analyzed, that what could be the implications, what could be the repercussions if they implement this solution. So that is what something intellectual you need to learn now more, what a machine cannot do. Now, if you can go ahead with what robotics can do, then your existence is at a stake, right? So I'll come on the advantages of AI. Reduction in human error. I think I'm taking a little more time. Just give me some time, I'll come on this. Reduction in the human error. What I talked about is take risk instead of human. Because if, for example, some bomb has to be diffused, right? That bomb, if the Ukraine example, which I quoted it here also, that explosion has happened. If we'll send a robot instead of a human being, that will carry a more value because you are working for human beings only, right? Which is available, robots, which is available for 24/7. They do not get tired. You just have to charge them up. Helping in the repetitive job. The digital assistance is there. Faster decision is there. Whatever is programmed, that would give a faster decision, right? So these are the advantages. The disadvantages, high cost of creation, obviously. Making human lazy. Pani de do mujhe, please. Making human lazy. Unemployment increases. As I talked about, that the shop floor is at a risk as of now. Huh? Abhi thoda sa time do mujhe, theek hai? Making human lazy. Obviously, most of the work would be done by the robots. Then human would be lazy by itself. No emotions, you can understand it well. Lacking out of the box thinking. What I talked about is when you are thinking about some solution, you will come up with some main things, 5 students coming to me with some solutions itself, which are independent to each other. So which will increase their analytical skills. Hence, they'll come up with some of a project which is out of the way, right? AI regulations, I'll talk a little about it because of the scarcity of a time. I'll suggest you to go ahead with this. If you have been into the news, then USA has banned the utilization and the usage of ChatGPT into the schools. Brazil has come up with the AI regulations, and the risk factor which has to be taken. Brazil has come up in December 22 only. As of now, India has not implemented any of the AI regulations, so still a challenge is faced. Still, China has also come up for a change. China has also come up with some algorithmic provisions which they are providing for AI to the machines. They have come up with some those regulations. Switzerland has come up. USA has come up. Brazil, USA, Switzerland, China. Right, that's it. India doesn't have as of now, but yes, in a soon time, they would be implementing the way they are after Facebook as of now. Some regulations would be implemented into AI. Otherwise, I want you to talk a little more on this for your ethical intelligence, right? This part which I'm talking about, that is very, very important about the ethical intelligence, right? So this is a video which is basically the conversation. I'll just show some part of it because of the time. I'll cut the things, major things. Just concentrate here. Tell me if you are not able to hear. Not Sophia. No audio. Okay, fine, kids. If I'll share this video with you, I'll share the link with you all. It would be better that you I'll suggest everyone to please go through this video, right? That's okay. I'll share the link of this video. So I'll suggest you all wherein it talks about that how this interview has went viral with this robot, wherein it is talking about that, yes, I myself can be the threat to the human being, wherein, if I'm programmed that way, correct? So I'll share the link with Ajay sir, he'll in line share with you all, or I'll share the link into the chat box in the end, right? So now I'll talk about Industry 5.0, the technical part. For the Industry 4.0, I hope it is understandable to all of you that how the digital transformation has to happen in that. Now, the future for Industry 5.0, which I talked about in my first slide, is all the three things: sustainability, resilient, and the human centricity, right? Now, this what is Industry 5.0 is, there is an underlying assumption that more automation means more standardization, which will lead to less human involvement, right? Which I talked about, the threat to shop floor people. Also, data management cost is gigantic. The customer always prefers customized products, which calls for human intervention to Industry 4.0. And that's where Industry 5.0 comes into the picture. Means the intervention, as of now, what we are dealing with is, that Industry 4.0, which is dealing with physical and the digital concept. Industry 5.0, which is dealing with the physical and the value concept, right? So 5.0 reflects a shift from a focus on economic value to a focus of social value, right? And shift in a focus from welfare to well-being. Means Industry 4.0, we had been in a race to implement about the machines, to automate the machines, to regulate the machines, to make them intelligent as work as a humankind. Now it is important to stabilize it the way it has been misused, right? So this is Industry 5.0, wherein instead of a cyber physical system, the cyber physical cognitive systems have come into the picture. The human value, human centricity, which is taken care about, the talent and the empowerment and the diversity, wherein that is taken care about on the cyber physical system, right? So the cyber physical system with more connectivity. This is WhatsApp group of MCA students. Okay, kids, I'll share that. I'll share that. Right? So this is about Industry 5.0. Now, what it deals with is, I explained all the things to all of you in detail. I'll focus on two things as of now, is edge computing and the connectivity, which you shall be very, very concerned about, wherein edge computing, which deals with the job perspective I'm talking about, kids, the technology involvement in edge computing and the connectivity, the industrial Internet of Things, which is dealing with the connectivity and the involvement, wherein the security also comes into the picture, keeping in mind that human involvement is also there. Right? Now, this is one part. Second part is AI and machine learning. You are into that era. Customization, you are into that era. Right? So reskilling and upskilling, that is another aspect wherein you are to deal with that how to increase the number of the connectivity. These two things, the customization and flexibility and reskilling and upskilling, these are connected a little bit. And edge computing and connectivity and reskilling and upskilling is connected a little bit. Reason behind the job perspectives will be increasing a little more in this area of edge computing. Obviously, networking and the connectivity will always be into the picture because, as I said, reverse gear is not possible. Connectivity is required. Also, every time. Now, if you, I'll just talk about a simple example. Let's say if you want to buy a wallet for you, right? In that purse, you'll prefer if it is within the budget. You'll prefer if your name is also embossed on it, right? So this is what the customization every human being now requires. Now, when customization is required, means the human centricity has come into the picture. Correct? So Industry 5.0 deals with the customization and the flexibility, which deals with the adaptability of upskilling and the reskilling. So all the things which I have mentioned here, kids, is this basically deals with connected with each other, how we can involve the human being for the requirement which can be created by the machines created by us. Right? So this upskilling and reskilling is the different sets of the skills for the competence of edge computing and connectivity. Am I making sense to all of you? Right? So with the increase in the number of the connected devices and the sectors, obviously the connectivity has increased, right? The redundancy in the latency has increased. Real-time decision-making has increased. That has been sped up. It has also enhanced on the security and the privacy of, you can say, minimizing the amount of the data what we send, right? So this is basically edge computing is not a gray area as of now, but the way it has not been utilized in Industry 4.0 would be utilized to the maximum extent in Industry 5.0. Right? I'll repeat it once more. The backbone of it is Internet of Things with the requirement of the data, wherein assimilation, analysis, and the projection with the security plays a very vital role. Hence, it completes the cycle for Industry 5.0 when we deal with the collaborative robotics. Right? This is what Industry 5.0 is. So benefits of it is obviously the cost optimization. In any case, paying value has increased because the economy has increased. So our optimization values have also increased, that this will be the optimum cost. The greener solutions, as we are dealing with the planet concerns, personalization and the connectivity, as we are dealing with the customizations. Necessity, as I told about, what is the necessity? One thing is customization. Human value is required in that. Human centricity is required in that. So the chances to set in motion for Industry 5.0 are already irreversible, which I talked about. Back gear is not possible. We are to take care about when we have a mixie at home. We are not going to jo masala kootne ka machine, I don't know the name of it, but we are not going to use it at our home again, right? We will use the mixer grinder for our own comfort. We will not take a back gear as of now because it has reduced over time. It has increased our potential, right? So Industry 5.0 is not a fate, rather than a new way of understanding manufacturing that has productive, economic, and the commercial consequences. So therefore, companies do not tailor their production to Industry 5.0 model will soon become the obsolete, being unable to benefit from the competitive advantage that it has to offer. So the moment all things are considered into 4.0, it may be the amalgamation. I cannot quote about it that whether it will be a standard different bifurcation as it has below the line to 4.0. But yes, this amalgamation in Industry 4.0 is a very, very important thing as of now. So now the rate of technological acceleration has increased, and hence faster up the production for it. So concentrate upon IoT, concentrate upon edge computing, concentrate upon security. Right? So what is the difference for them? I'll just focus on it. Then we'll come to the question answer round. Industry 4.0 and 5.0, what is the difference for both of them is focus of Industry 4.0 is on the integration of cyber physical system. This is important for you to understand so that you can make out that where we are, where shall we lead, and what we need to understand now, right? Automation and data exchange in manufacturing. Industry 5.0 focuses on human-machine collaboration, emphasize the role of human in the manufacturing process alongside advanced technologies. Human-machine interaction में Industry 4.0 primarily focus on automation, machine-to-machine communication, and data-driven decision making, assimilation, and the data analysis, right? 5.0 promotes collaboration and interaction between human and machine, right? With an emphasis on augmenting human capabilities and expertise. Connectivity and edge computing. Industry 4.0 emphasize connectivity between machine, system, and the cloud for data sharing and analysis. 5.0 focuses, leverages the edge computing to enable real-time decision-making and reduce latency while minimizing data sent to the cloud. Role of the technology. Industry 4.0 utilizes the technologies like Internet of Things, cloud computing, big data analysis, and artificial intelligence to automate and optimize manufacturing processes. 5.0 builds the 4.0 technologies and further integrates AI, machine learning, and robotics to enhance human-machine collaboration. Customization and flexibility. This is 4.0 is flexible and customizable production through the use of digital technologies only and data-driven insights. 5.0 emphasize customization and flexibility by combining advanced automation with human expertise, enabling efficient production of personalized products, right? So this is all about Industry 4.0 and 5.0. I'll conclude with the three things. Industry 5.0 still is a visionary, but a convincing concept. You need to understand that, which will have a deep impact on the society, governance, and the human identity, along with the economic ramifications. That is very, very important to understood by this so that you can, technology can be implemented ethically, or intelligence shall be implemented ethically. The aim of Industry 5.0 is to allow humans to spend more time on planning and strategizing tasks by providing a blend of a human craftsmanship and the automation. So that's what I said, that the benefit of it, major benefit, which I see for it is for the country is that people will emphasize more and more on the education now because things at the bottom level are getting absorbed. Right? Industry 3.0 is mass production industry, 4.0 is mass customization, and 5.0 is mass personalization. Always remember the concept of a customization when you are into the factor of a industry, right? That's all from my side. I'll open up the question answer round. To see the academic point of view. I didn't understand your question.
Excuse me, ma'am, please.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I think students can't able to hear, ma'am. I think so.
Nothing. Nobody has written, ma'am, here.
My webinar chat, maybe they're unable to hear, can't hear it.
No, they said about the video, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, continue, ma'am.
From the perspective of business, the business owners would always want to get the max profit. Why would they be part of 5.0 if they are making good bucks and just AI? Look, I tell you, government has all the rights to screw people up. Number one, right? Productions, if government is planning about the human intervention in the machines, which is the needful requirement today, businesses will line up the same way. There is no doubt about it. And for what purpose businesses? If you become a business person, for whom you would be? For us, nah. We need the customization. We need that centricity. You cannot do the mass production if it is not available in the market, if it is not sold off in the market, sorry. Right? So there is no perspective for business person that they have an option not to go for. That is a requirement and they will go for. Now, when you are looking into the perspective of just a business person or the business owners, but finally, haven't you seen that time wherein the business owners knee down in front of the shop floor people also, right? So no doubt what you are talking about, for a business owner to buy all the robots at the shop floor, still a costly affair, right? Still they are to shift to human being. They are to remain to human being. And in India, if I talk about specifically, that cost factor will always be taken care of, blessing to our population, right? So this industry 5.0 has to be integrated without any fail. Ethical aspect, which include all the three things which I mentioned, that is very, very important to be considered about, right? Yeah, any other questions, kids? I am open for that. Okay. Any further questions? No? Shall I consider two aspects of it? That I was pretty good to explain the things, or you were not listening to what I explained about? No further questions, kids? Okay, first thing is I'll stop sharing. Are the organizers in the class here? AI won't replace humans. The person who use AI efficiently will replace the one who don't. That's what's your thought? Okay. Wait. First time. AI won't replace humans. The person, AI, 100% replacement as of now, I couldn't see as of the things. If you go through the Business Times or Economic Times also, I do not see the 100% replacement as of now. But yes, whistleblower is there. Possibility is there. Yes, efficient usage of AI with any of a human being. That is efficient usage of AI with that human being, which is who is implementing that can replace the another human being. I agree with that. That efficiency is much more needed. कुछ और काम तो नहीं करना ना? आवाज आएगा? मैं 10 मिनट दीजिए प्लीज, मैं लेक्चर ले रही 10 minutes प्लीज, है ना? Ma'am, do you think that things that people can do comfortably should not be automated by AI? No, I don't think so. I just consider that it should be used mindfully. I'll give you an example for this. Like these games which you play on the system. I'm not talking about the outdoor games. On the machine which you play, games are playing, the chess and everything. Utilized well, yes. The chess, if you are playing, I know very few games. That's what I'm talking about. Chess, if you're playing on with a computer, it will increase your intelligence. There is no doubt about it. But you are not, if mindful for how much time you shall play there, then it is threatening. Am I making sense? So that is what the term ethical intelligence is. Comfort should be automated. By AI, no doubt it would be automated, but to what extent it is getting automated, right? A vague example, if I take, if for everything in a household, you are to be done, everything has to be done by robot, what is your existence? What is the personal touch? What is the customization? Kids require something else, in-laws require something else, husband requires something else. Where's the customization? Let's say customization also you can program to the robot. Why are you existing? Let's say that is also there, that you are playing a part in that. The emotional intelligence with the human being surviving there is there. Are you taking care of your physical health also? So some implication will come up somewhere. There is no doubt about it. right? So you need to be mindful to what extent it has to be used and it has to be programmed, right? When you are replacing the shop floor people, I'm not getting inhuman for them, but yes, that is a stipulated list of the things which can be done. So yes, that will increase the production, it shall be done. But rest of the things shall also be taken care of. That in that country, that level of people need to be educated, need to reach to that level so that they can have their basic earnings to run their house. Right? I'm making sense what you explained, ma'am. Oh. AI can work repeatedly, but not logically. That's why it can't replace us. No, you are in a glimpse of the, you are in a myth of the things, Nishant. AI can work repeatedly, no doubt. In coming time, it can work logically also. With the reply, the video which I'll share with you, with the reply which is given by Musk, further question is framed on the basis of that reply only. There are basically, तुम ये देखो, हम कर क्या रहे हैं robots में, what is happening? We are making the mannequins to do the work, right? When we can program them to do the repetitive job, to some extent, we can put up, yes, sudden logic is not possible, no doubt. But what I'm saying is that to some extent, you are talking just about yourself. You broaden your view and look into the things wherein all the angles, all the aspect of each level of a job is there. Each level of a business is there. AI has reached to the shop floor, right? To more extent, the more you wish to grow, if let's say you are working in AI, more you wish to grow, more your brain would be implied on implementing the logical reasoning into the robot so that you can have a shift in your career, right? So this way, multiple brains work on to which extent the intellectuality can be included into AI, and there are the examples for that, right? Though they have not worked successfully as of now, but in coming time, prototype has come, things will come up. So I won't say that it won't replace us. I said, nah, there would be quite possible in coming time, there would be a job for the chief robotics officer, right? Who is dealing with all the robots and down the line. He is doing that decision making, that what has to be programmed further, what has to be put further. 50% because we don't have this to remember things, but AI store all this is an example, but AI have the vast knowledge. AI is a vast area, right? Knowledge you are to gain to implement that AI. How much AI integration can we imagine in next 10 years in the industry? Look, next 10 years, there is no doubt there would be the regulations. That's what I wanted to focus upon, that AI regulations. There would be the regulations wherein the human centricity and the sustainability, these two things would be mainly focused upon, right? So in coming 10 areas, AI integration, it has a, not 10, even 20 I'll talk about. It is having a huge scope, huge implementation, but with the barrier of a regulation. It will be there, right? But in 10 years, yes, we'll stabilize with where AI shall be used. Abhi jo country ka haal hai, I must say not country, abhi jo world ka haal hai is like this, कि एक बच्चे के हाथ में आप खिलौना पकड़ा दो जो वो पहली बार देखता है, right? Now how that child will react? That child will implement each and everything to study that toy or to break it up, to use it up. So world is in the same state as of now. Okay, कि नई चीज हाथ में है, because that thing is providing a comfort, increase the production. But yes, how much it has to be used, for how long it has to be used, what is the extent of implementation, that we need to be mindful with the regulations, right? How cognitive science, AI, be used in the medical field? what students learn for interdisciplinary in AI and health science. Look, for the health science, I won't suggest you, not suggest, matlab, I consider it is out of the scope for us to understand about how health science is working. I'm talking about the merging of the candidates. What health science requires, right? That health science, on that basis, you can program their instruments. Like you can see that CT scan machines, X-ray machines, these are what? Programmed and designed by engineers only, right? Now, the solutions, better solutions to the, in the coming scope I'm talking about, in the term of a pathologist and in the term for the radiologist, if you can understand their requirements, right, you can program it well and you can make the artificially intelligent machine wherein they are to learn about the utilization of that machine, because pathologist results depends upon what the medication would be given further. So what is the combination, how that combination has to be used, what is the chemical combinations which they are implementing to create a medicine for something. So if we go for all these things, if not to that extent, you must be having a chemistry department in your college, right? In that chemistry department, what is the combinations, what are the solutions which are implemented, which can be utilized by the robot, and you can program it and give the sensing sensation to that robot to use that acid or base, whatever they are using, right? We are giving commands to AI using latest technologies. We are giving commands to AI to do the different works. Without commands or tools, AI dependent on human being. Yes, as of now. But can you assure that there won't be any robot to command any other robot in the future? Would there be in future, there won't be the academicians possible as a robots? They can be. Which would be teaching for the robots only. Right? So you cannot assure for this that they are, as per today's thinking, you are saying so. Correct? If you do not take care of the planet, if you do not take care of the human customization, this thing will happen. This is quite possible. Human emotions in coming year. Yes, it is to much of the extent, if I talk about, then they can pretend for the human emotions. I'm not saying that human emotions can be felt by them. No. But yes, they can pretend for the human emotions. AI output is not static, but dynamic and generative. Will the regulation really work on it? Who is programming for the AI output? We, as of now. Right? We are programming for the AI output. So we need to make it according to what the regulations are, if we want to launch it into the market. Otherwise, it would be unethical as per the governance. So it won't be launched and further sailing off is not possible. Hence, business will be on the stake. Right? There should be a way to shut down an AI if it is somewhere harming people. No, वो story सुना है बेटे आपने? बिल्ली को देख के कबूतर आंखें बंद कर लेता. But that doesn't mean कि आंखें बंद कर लिया तो बिल्ली कबूतर को खाएगी नहीं. ठीक? Only thing is, what we are implementing in AI, I am just emphasizing upon the ethical intelligence, kids, as of now. The baseline for Industry 5.0 is the ethical intelligence, wherein you are taking care of the re-existence, sustainability, right, and the human intervention. Okay. What is the neural network and how do we relate? Neural network is what? Basically, in a simple language, the neurons, we think logically or analytically how, what we are doing. Neural network is doing what? right? Neural network is basically neurons. Our neurons are making us, if let's say any of a neuron in our brain is not working. So can that specific work, for example, the neurons of this left hand stops working for the left hand. Would I be able to work with left hand? No, right? So understanding of the neuron, human neuron, and implementing that human neuron onto the robot, programming that human neuron onto the robot is the neural network. Understanding of basically that neurons of human being, how they are working, what is the networking in between that, artificially implementing into that the network into the robot, we name it as the artificial neural networks, right? So basically the neural net understanding, and when the moment we become the most efficient into the neural networks, the same time we would be able to implement and the emotional part and the logical part. The emotional part is still existing to some extent. Neural networks are what AI run on technically. AI process it. No, I won't agree with this statement. Neural networks are what AI run on technically. Yeah, to some extent, right? That's what that art. Maybe you wrote a little less. Your meaning would be same. That what artificially we are implementing the neurons of human being. AI process informatics data because the neural networks are what form of logical. Okay, fine. You have just given a definition. Can AI program itself in coming future? That's what I talked about, right? Any efficient robot making. Okay, fine. You people have seen that movie Robot? Iski Rajnikant ki. What happened in that movie? Though in that time it was total fictitious movie. But what was happening finally? That robot created by Rajnikant itself, right? That robot is training further robots to fulfill his wish. So isn't it possible now? Can't you foresee that to some extent we have reached? At that time, the robot working, the movie when it was released, at that time we hardly thought of that robot working this way is possible. Now robot is working this way is possible, right? Am I missing some questions further? Further questions? Am I missing something? Is there anything down also?
One was, ma'am.
This is.
Yeah, on the does captcha.
It came.
Yeah.
I think I'm sorry. I interrupted you in between.
No issue.
This is TensorFlow, right?
Yeah.
This is the next. What is TensorFlow and what it is? Basically, it is a open source framework. TensorFlow is an open source framework, I think, developed by Google. We use generally to machine learning programs ko simulate karne ke liye, those programs. This is used as that simulator on it, right? This is that over. I suppose you shall have a. And also I suggest that you shall be connected somewhere on the NVIDIA platform, wherein the different workshops are there. You would be taught about how to use this open source open source TensorFlow also. As of now, this is a question to me also. On the lighter note, does CAPTCHA really help in distinguishing human and robots? Still date, this is a question from my side as well. I'm not able to understand that. Though it does, but what is the point? Because upper form also is filled by us only. But in any case, robot can detect, let's say if CAPTCHA, what is written, robot can read. Till now, it can read and it can implement. So till, if I talk about today, then it won't be able to distinguish.
And most student is having,
else down?
Yeah, one more question is there in question answer session. That is the idea about industry 5.0 is already went to everyone, or any kind of awareness needed as in today's market, as there are a lot of discussions and destructions are going on.
If you talk about your own country, our own country, India. Then in India, 100% implementation of 4.0 has not yet happened, right? So implementation or amalgamation of 5.0 is a challenge. But yes, 5.0 has come into the picture to the broader sense to the countries wherein, these underwater missiles, North Korea has developed that underwater missile drone for, a weapon against basically for US, right? So overall, including into the world perspective, yes, Industry 5.0 has reached to many of the countries wherein they are involving the things, keeping human centricity into the picture.
Thank you, ma'am.
Something else? All right.
All questions have been answered.
Chalo.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all the students, all the participants, and all the faculty members and the organizers who are present here. Thanks a lot for bearing me also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. On a
I'll take an
formal-
exit.
Yeah,
Haji sir, please, sir.
give me 1 minute. On a formal note, a vote of thanks from my side to ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot
Thank
for sparing your valuable time for us, for our students, on such a wonderful topic. And your discussion has been very, very good, eye-opener for us. So our students will be, as we are having, most of the students are working professionals and many are working on the digital transformation only. So they will be helped out a lot by your discussion. Thank you.
If I could do something, I would be very,
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your valuable time, ma'am.
very. Take care. Take care.
Thanks,
sir.
ma'am. And thanks to all our dear students also. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. With this, now we end this meeting. Thank you, ma'am. You'll get
I'll
back.
take an exit.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.